Hey guys, it's me Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and this video is what is hedging? What does hedging mean? What is a hedge bet? And is it something you should consider in your daily betting practices? We'll answer that part on the end. 1000% yes. This is what hedging is. Hedging, in a nutshell, is when you have a parlay, all of your legs have hit. There's one leg left. Okay, what are your outcomes? If that last bet of your parlay hits, then you win your entire parlay. If the last bet loses, then you lose your entire parlay. So what can you do to make sure that you are 1000% guaranteed profit? So you're not lighting all the profit you've made on the parlay up to the point of the final leg. You're not just lighting it on fire. What do? We hedge the final leg, which is, again, you're betting the opposite. This is a little more of a difficult concept compared to the other videos that are currently on our Betting 101 playlist that you're watching here on YouTube, which if you haven't yet, go ahead and drop that subscribe, smash the subscribe, click the thumbs up, and then download the free PlayerProps.ai app and get in the free Discord, because that's where the hedge bot exists, which you're going to get to in a second. It doesn't have to be a parlay either. There's other scenarios where you can hedge. Let's do an example of a futures pick. So let's say early in the season you bet on the Miami Dolphins to win the Super Bowl. Let's say it's like a plus 2,000 odds bet or something like that. And then we get to the Super Bowl. Miami Dolphins are versing, let's say it's the San Francisco 49ers. You have a nice bet on the Dolphins to beat the 49ers because you have them as a Super Bowl pick early in the season, right? If they lose the 49ers, you lose all the money you put on that, all your potential profit. So what do you do in that case? You bet on the opposite. You bet on the 49ers to beat the Dolphins in the Super Bowl, which of course would be hedging your bet. So it doesn't have to be a parlay. It's just something that has a pretty nice payout or pretty nice return. If it's a futures pick, that'll work. If it's a parlay, that'll work. But we at PlayerProps.ai always advise hedging your bets. You want to guarantee profit. Now, if you bet the opposite of your final leg, but your final leg in the parlay hits, and you're like, oh man, I wish I didn't bet the opposite because I just lost that extra profit. No, you have to focus on profit. Don't focus on you betting against your final leg and then the final leg eventually hitting. Now, if this all is like, this is pretty confusing, I'm just going to pull up our hedge bot that I built in the Discord, which makes things 1,000,000,000% easier to understand. So this is not a screenshot, but actually inside of our Discord right now. We have 3 tools that I've built for you that live inside the Discord only. The bankroll management bot, this teaches you or shows you when you type in how much bankroll you have on your sports books, how much you can put, how much you're allowed to risk for the safe plays, the risky plays, all of that stuff. If you're not following any kind of bankroll management guidelines, you're guaranteed not to be a winning bettor. So bankroll management is huge. You get more details by going to this channel, but use the bot in this channel. Implied chance bot right here. This shows you what the implied chance is for any odd value. So if you want to know what minus 150 means, it'll tell you what the implied chance is. If you want to see what plus 200 means, it'll tell you that. I use this a lot for the new people that join our community that only do crazy parlays. I say every time you do a crazy parlay, take your total odds, drop it in here, and then it'll make you rethink parlays. It'll say, hey, this parlay has a 0.1% chance of hitting. Do you really want to keep only betting things that have a 0.1% chance of hitting? No, you want to bet the higher implied chances. So those are other 2 bots we have, but this one here, of course, we're focusing on the hedge bot. Now I've already typed in an example here. So in this example, right now, we have 5 team money lines. So money line, of course, is when it is just betting on a team to win. So team A's money line is minus 150, team B's minus 200, team C is minus 130, team D's plus 120, and team E is minus 120. So let's say we have team A hits, team B hits, team C hits, team D hits, and now there's just one game. Now, for argument's sake, let's say it's like Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. Let's just talk about NFL money lines. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. So that we've hit 4 out of 5. There's 1 left. Let's say that our how much money we put on the parlay was $10. Let's say that the odds of the parlay hitting are plus 10,000. Just, again, we're just playing with numbers here. let's say that Team E is versing Team Z. So Team Z's money line is plus 200. So let's just say they're the underdog. So you have the favorite right now. They're the last team you need to hit. Now you have the underdog, which is their opponent, and they're plus 200. So what do we know? We know we put $10 on a 5 pick. We know that the first pick hit. The first 4 picks hit. And we know the total odds of our parlay slip is plus 10,000. So what can we do with that information? So let's use the Hedge bot to explain how to quickly determine what you should be doing. So when you come to the Hedge bot, you just come here and you type /hedge, and it'll show you the 3 different bots we have. I mentioned the bankroll management bot, the implied chance bot, and the Hedge bot. So you do /hedge, you hit the space bar. Then you have to type in 3 different numbers. The first number you see right here, the first number is the 10. What was your original wager on this parlay? It was 10 bucks. Okay, what were the total odds of the parlay? We just mentioned for this example, we're just going to say it's 10,000. And then it's going to say, what is the opposite odds of your final leg? Well, we know the final leg that we have is minus 120. The opposite was plus 200. So when you use our tools, you don't have to type the plus. If it's a plus odd, you can just type the number. If it's minus, you do have to type the minus value. So plus 200, we type in 200, and then we just hit enter. And in milliseconds, the bot spits out what you should be doing. So if this is what you did, you bet $10 on this to happen. The total odds of the 5-pick parlay is plus 10,000. The opposite team's plus 200. It'll immediately spit out, you should bet $336.67 on Team Z money line of plus 200 to guarantee, that is the word we're focusing on, a profit of $673.33. Again, this is a guarantee. So, with that being said, there has been some times when people are in a hedge situation where if they're betting $10 on a parlay and this says, hey, you should bet $336 on the opposite leg, they're like, I don't know if I necessarily have that in my account right now. I only have maybe $100. You can do one of two things. You can say, okay, you only have $100. It's a guaranteed profit. Throw your $100 on there. Or you can quickly deposit the amount you need to guarantee a $673 profit. So that is a quick example of how to use the Hedge bot to determine it. Now, you don't want to, you don't want to always take cash outs. People will see a cash out and they'll take it and they'll be like, yeah, I made profit. Now, I like that more than you just letting it ride and then losing everything. But it's extremely important, because this tool is 1000% free to use and free to access. When you see a cash out option, when you have one leg left, go to the Hedge bot I just showed you. Type in those 3 numbers that I just showed you how to type in and make the bot work, right? If the number at the far end, I'll pull up the screen again. If the cash out is lower than $673.33 in this example, then the sportsbook is offering you less than what you can guarantee yourself. So they are offering you less than what you can guarantee yourself. Now, if the number is extremely close, like within a few maybe dollars or cents, you can do whatever you want to. You can take the cash out if you want to, especially if you don't have that $300-something in your account to bet the opposite. But you're not in a situation where there's only 2 options. Like I said, like if you have a minus 5.5 spread, the opposite's plus 5.5. There's 0 chance that one of those 2 doesn't hit. There's not like a third option. Now, with some sports, they do have ties, which are extremely unlikely but still possible, so you have to consider that when it comes like to money lines and stuff. But spreads, totals, things like that, there's a 0% chance of you losing money. So when it comes to a 1000% guaranteed chance, and maybe the number to bet on the final leg to get a true max profit amount is a little bit higher than it's in your bankroll, if you have money somewhere that you can put in there, put it in there, get your guaranteed profit, and then take that money out plus how much ever profit you want to. Never leave money on the table. The number that shows up in the Hedge bot This is a number that I'll pull this up one more time. So this guaranteed profit factors in the $10 that you originally bet, as well as the $336 you hedged on. So if they add these two numbers together, the 336 and the 10, if your 5-pick parlay hits, this is how much you're going to profit. If your hedge bet hits, this is how much you're going to profit. So it creates kind of a 50-50 scenario of you're going to profit this amount regardless of what happens. The only other thing I want to add on to this is if, let's say, that final leg, you are like 99.9% sure it's going to hit. You don't have to bet a certain amount on the hedge to make a guaranteed 50-50, doesn't matter what happens, you make the same profit scenario as our hedge bot will tell you to do. If you are, whatever reason, completely convinced your final leg's going to hit, do less. So instead of that $337 bet, do a $200 bet or a $100 bet. Just make sure you are never, ever, ever letting it ride. Your bets, you already know this if you bet enough, your bets will lose more often than they hit. You do not want to risk that amount of money. I did say I was only going to bring up the tool one more time, but I'm going to bring it up one more time. This is one of my biggest frustrations with people and while they're betting. When you hit 4 out of 5 for $10, people's mindset, a lot of people out there, I've seen their mindset is, oh, I'm just going to let it ride. It's only $10. That is the most incorrect statement you can possibly think. This is not a $10 bet. You have 4 wins, which with our 50-50, you're going to win $673 no matter what happens scenario. This is how much money you are lighting on fire, not this amount. So if you have a concept in your head of, it's only $10, if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. No, it's not $10. It was $10 before any of these games started. Now that those games have finished and they won, how much the value of your 4 out of 5 ticket right now is $673. If it's, if these are the odds anyway. Never have the mindset that it's only $10. No, you have $673 in equity. Do with it as, treat this bet as if it's a single bet that you bet $673 on. Treat it like that. That's my last thing I'm going to make sure that I get across. You have to have the right mindset. I always recommend hedging. If you are in a crazy unique circumstance where the hedge bot can't possibly be applied, I'm not sure what that situation would be, but if it's something where you need a human response instead of just the bot telling you to do this, if you're like, what if I do this, this, and this? The PlayerProps.ai community is all about being helpful. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Always ask questions if you have questions. So if you have questions about hedging from this video or from using the tool, just ask me in the Discord. That's why we have a Discord. But I hope that clears up some stuff when it comes to hedging. But again, it's betting the opposite of your final leg, which if you only have one leg, again, if you bet on the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl, they're versed in the San Francisco 49ers. Let's say, let's just do, it's the exact same thing on the hedge bot. So let's say you bet $100 at plus 2,500 odds. Then this is for the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl. Now, at the Super Bowl, the Dolphins are, I don't know, let's just say they're minus 120 to win. Let's say the 49ers are plus 150. So, $100 you bet before the season started on a plus 2,500 Miami Dolphins Super Bowl ticket, which I think actually was close to what their odds were. Dolphins are minus 120. They've made it to the Super Bowl. The first thing, the 49ers, who are plus 150. So you do the exact same thing for those future tickets. You type in hedge. The wager amount was $100. The odds was the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl at plus 2,500. And the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl versus the Dolphins is 150. So it'll say the same thing. To guarantee yourself a profit of $1,560, bet $1,040 on the 49ers plus 150 money line in the Super Bowl. So if no matter who wins the Super Bowl, you're getting $1,560 guaranteed profit from a $100 bet. So you can also do that as well. But again, you don't have to bet the full amount. If you don't want a 50-50, you can bet less, but I still will always strongly recommend you always hedge. Never get $0 out of a parlay that has one leg left. Never, ever let that happen. There are always ways to guarantee profit if there's one leg left. Take the profit, live to fight another day. If you have any questions, let me know in the Discord. If you have any other videos you want me to go over things, do that as well. I hope this helped you out. But yeah, good luck with your betting, guys, and we'll see you guys in the Discord.